Hello everyone and welcome to another Pyro Gaming video. The final raid challenge for the Crown of Sorrows raid, titled With Both Hands, is now available to complete in-game. And much like the other two challenges that we've seen in this raid, it's pretty simple. Now, if you don't know how to do the other two challenges, you can find guides for the limited blessings and for the total victory challenges on my channel. But we're here to talk about the With Both Hands challenge. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is head over to the tower and go talk to Miss Got some clan stuff to talk about and pick up the bounty. In order to pick up the bounty, you will need to be in a clan, and that clan will have to be at least rank 4. If you are not in a clan and you do not have the bounty, completing the challenge will not give you a reward, nor will it give you the triumph. You absolutely need this bounty on your character to complete this triumph. Once you have the bounty and you are loaded into the Crown of Sorrow raid, Phase 2 of the boss, aka the Galron encounter, aka it's time to kill Mr. Man-Titties, the flow of the fight itself goes just like it always has. Feel free to do whatever strategy you have been doing this entire time. You don't have to change anything for the actual fight. Now, when it comes time for DPS, that is damaging the boss, that is where the challenge will take place. And as I said before, this challenge is pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Basically, it works like the Insurrection Prime challenge, to each their own. Meaning each time that you go through a damage cycle with Galron, this is actual DPS, not when you are determining which Galron is real and which two are fakes, but the actual damage cycles for the boss, where you have to shoot both of his hands, and then you go into DPS, and then his hands come back up, and then you go back into DPS, and then his hands come back up, and then you go back into DPS. Basically, all you need to do is, every time it is time to shoot his hands, only one person is shooting each hand each time. So to give you an idea of the flow of this fight, this is how we did it. We had a team of 2 on the purple side, which is where I'm at now. We had a team of 2 on top, and we had a team of 2 on the dog statue side. The first damage cycle, purple team shot both hands. I shot the left, and my partner on purple shot the right hand. The next damage cycle, when it came time to do his hands again, we rotated clockwise. So then it was top team's turn. One of them shot the left, one of them shot the right. And then for the third damage cycle, or the third handbrake, the dog team took over. One of them took left, and one of them took right. Basically, only one person should be shooting one of his hands each damage cycle. Now, my team was able to kill Galron with only 3 handbrakes. Usually we do it in 2, honestly. He's pretty easy to kill when you have stuff like Swarm and Tractor Cannon going. But beyond 3 handbrakes, I honestly don't know if the challenge will go on. I don't know if you have to 3-phase him, or if you can do 2 complete damage cycles and just repeat it like you can in Insurrection Prime, but I would imagine that you could. So if you aren't able to kill him with the 3 handbrakes, then just let him go immune and repeat the process again on your second damage phase. Another thing that I would recommend doing is establishing which team will be shooting the first cycle of hands, which team will be shooting the second set of hands, and which team will be shooting the third set of hands, so that once the time comes, people aren't stepping on each other's toes and you don't have people shooting when they're not supposed to. It's also very important that your team knows what left and right you were talking about. If you were talking about his left hand from my perspective, then that is his actual right hand. So if it's his right hand, or if it's your left or his right, or so on and so forth, make sure that you establish all of that before the time comes to actually do it, so that there is not as much confusion. And that is pretty much it, guys. That is the challenge. Like I said, it's pretty straightforward and pretty simple. Doesn't really change the fight all that much. It just requires a little bit more planning and just a little bitty bit of communication. And just to reiterate, as I said before, I don't know if 2-phasing him, meaning doing 2 complete damage cycles, and getting back here and doing 6 hands again, I don't know if that counts, but I would assume it would. And I also don't know if doing it in 2 damage phases, which would only be shooting his hands 4 times and not 6, I don't know if that would count either, but again, it might. Just to be safe though, I would go ahead and just slow your damage and make sure that you get a full 6 hands each time you do damage. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, click like. If you're new to the channel, click subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, I fucking love you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.